So, went in to vote. I decided the marshal decided to keep the judges around for a little bit longer. It's got to be very humbling. Seeing your name, do we fire you? Or do we keep you? But I mean, I think it's a good idea. Just the idea. A judge knows that the name is on there, and do we retain you or not? But the funny part for me is that I'm in Sharice's district because I was seeing her back when I was in Oklahoma, I guess, maybe even Texas. I think even Texas. That's pretty funny. Needless to say, how I voted. Shutting down that machine if I can. I mean, I didn't dislike the Republican candidates, but I got to shut that machine down if it gets in there. There's a possibility that Kamala Harris was never actually ahead. I don't know for sure. Again, we're talking about billionaires that cheated their way into billionaire status, so anything could have happened. Right. But when I came out, Hashem. The funny part is, I say great. I said great before Trump said great. I said I did thumbs up before Trump did thumbs up. In fact, they may have put that into a stick, planning that whole, you know, uh, 3%ers and all that, hoping I would drift into that. These are spies, man. They're not political operators. No such thing as a political operator anymore. Criminal spies. When I came out, though, because I was weird because I kept saying great, and I'm like, oh, this dude thinks I'm like with Trump. And I had a law enforcement hat on. Like, not law enforcement, but, blue line hat. But then when I came out, I was healing everybody in there and healing the place. When he came out, there was this single mother. I'm almost sure she's single with mom, probably in her 20s, and with her daughter, and she's trying to get her. And the mother's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry." I'm like, "No, it's quite all right, because I'm different than most people." And I'm like, "That's the hardest job on earth, right there." And the grandmother at that point was like, "Yes, it is." The woman was tattooed and everything. And, I mean, she was really a semi, I mean, I don't want to be down on people, and I don't want to be judging them, but she was a good looking woman. I mean, she had a little rough side to her, so again, not all men would find her appealing with tattoos and things like that. But I think definitely like 10 years ago, I would have thought about it. Hey, let's be friends. And that's all I really do. I don't try to do anything to anybody. It has to be a period of time. It's just the way it is. I mean, I'm not. There's no reason to have sex with somebody when you're not married or planning to marry. There's just no reason, especially as dangerous as it is out there. I'm sure if I went for sex somewhere, they would eventually, allow me to have it. Probably would have planned somebody with HIV or something. That's how they are. But that made the vote all worthwhile. 'Cause I know she's just probably a single mother, and that girl, she has a life forward to her that may not work exactly as everybody else's life. The young girl, that was the daughter. So I was like, yeah, I voted for the right person. There's the reason. Right, Therese? There's a chance that Kamala Harris was never actually ahead. Because when you look at the trend, it doesn't make sense. Now, the polls out there now could be lies. They could be running like a scam operation. Right? Because Alex Jones is out there going, and again, he might just be energizing the base, but they're going to steal it. They're going to steal the election. Well, because the polls might be a lie, and Kamala Harris may actually be 5% ahead. Right. That's one of Trump's things. He puts himself ahead in the polls. to see if he can pick up some voters that are afraid not to vote for him or want to be with the person that wins. Right? We're trying to get back to the day where Kamala Harris describes where it doesn't matter who wins. Everybody's a citizen. Everybody's a member of the public, whether they're a citizen or not, and they get their due representation, their due protection. Hopefully, the new police chief is into that. I don't know what her history is. I don't think I looked at it. That could be why some of the harassment disappeared. They don't know who the new police chief is, and I'm not sure what she's going to do. Not to say that Simon did anything wrong. I don't know anything about Simon. One thing I know is Simon Says. It'd be a fun place to work. Somebody named Simon. Simon Says, "What should we do, Chief?" I guess is he going to be assistant chief? What? That's kind of an awkward situation. I've been around where somebody's an acting leader and then they have to step down, and so again, hopefully they get their heads straight. So when it's somewhere else, it isn't straight, right? So, Kansas gets an A for their, at least Overland Park, Kansas gets an A for the voting system. But the Kansas system had it was kind of a weird spot where it's like, you sure you want to print this? You sure? But it wasn't like threatening. But it was that moment where, wait a minute, let me make sure. So it gave you that opportunity to go back and look at what you were trying to print if you weren't sure. It's like he said, some people don't even look at the ballot. They just print it and put it in. He said, you can look at it if you want at that point. And of course I did. To make sure the judges know that I got their back. I didn't fire you this time. Maybe next time. It's just that there's so much hope and future in the Harris camp, and obviously it's not there in the Trump camp. So the struggle continues if he wins. The struggle continues, I guess, if he doesn't, because people are in place all across the nation. The scumbag, any goodness, any greatness. Everybody's just trying to be their own personal dictator. You know what they say about dictators? Little potatoes. I couldn't sit in there no more. I'm like, that's it. I got to vote. Get this thing out already. I guess that's what everybody else was feeling. That was like, that's a little bit late in the day. It was like an hour left of voting. But I have to commend Kansas on their voting system. It seemed to work real well. Now, I didn't have an issue. Maybe somebody else had an issue that they'll pretty forward. People weren't. That's why I felt weird saying great, because because I think they're trying to. Everybody was trying to stay neutral. Everybody was trying to put their poker face on and not influence, and that's what I came away with. Right? But I say great all the time, and Trump does that now. But I've been saying it since 2005 or 2004, actually. I've been saying it since 2004. Right? It's kind of weird how Trump. I mean, obviously. It's historical, but and then the thumbs up. I've done thumbs up since 2004, and Trump didn't do thumbs up in 2004, as far as I know. So somebody put that into his campaign or into his lifestyle.